Hi, I'm Greg. I'm the dealer principal here at Grand Teton Harley-Davidson, here to give you a full technical breakdown on the new 2022 Harley-Davidson Nightster. So obviously the Nightster fills a void in the Sportster lineup. Going into this year, the Iron 1200 was no longer part of the Sportster lineup, so this does help fill the void. The engine in the new Nightster is a Revolution Max liquid-cooled 975T. It makes 90 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 70 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. The new Nightster is fairly light, coming in at 481 pounds. It comes with a 19-inch front wheel and a 16-inch rear wheel with dual rear suspension and a Showa front shock that has dual bending valve internals. The dual bending valve internals helps reduce front dive and improves handling. With where the wheels and suspension sit, the seat height is at 27.5 inches, which is about 1.5 inches lower than the Sportster S and just a little bit higher than the current Sportsters in the model lineup. For braking, the Nightster has one caliper up front, one caliper in the back, but the front does have 4 pistons on the brake. As those of you that are Harley-Davidson fans know, the Nightster is a heritage name for Harley-Davidson. It ran in the Sportster lineup from 07 to 2012. It's about 20 pounds lighter than any of the other Sportsters in the lineup at the time, and had a low slung profile. Harley did stay true to that heritage in terms of the profile of this bike. Another bike that the Nightster borrows from is the old Night Rod or V-Rod with the gas tank underneath the seat, which results in a lower center of gravity. But there is a tank with the airbox in it, and that air tank is metal. It's not plastic, so it will have that tactile feel of a metal fuel tank. I think it was clear from the video that Harley released that the Nightster, because of the way that the fuel tank is set up underneath the seat and they have the airbox with the kind of dummy fuel tank, it allows for easy modification of the lines of the bike. The 975T Revolution Max is a new motor for Harley-Davidson, but it gives you all the things that the Revolution Max engine in their current lineup gives you, such as variable valve timing, hydraulic valve lash adjustment, and internal balancers. And with the Nightster, they've tuned those internal balancers and valves in a way that gives the bike a little bit more of that rumble that Harley fans have come to like. And with those internal modifications, I think with some of the customizations out there that some of the aftermarket is going to do with the exhaust, you'll get a lot more rumble out of this engine than the Revolution Max and the Pan America, which has a little bit more of a docile feel and sound. As we've seen with other Revolution Max applications, the engine is part of the motorcycle frame itself, which gives it a really rigid chassis while reducing weight, which leads to a very great power to weight ratio in this motorcycle. The Nightster also comes with 3 different ride modes: Road, Sport, and Rain, just like the other Revolution Max motorcycles in the lineup right now. Rain mode, as Harley-Davidson has explained in the other motorcycles, is good for a beginner. It changes the engine mapping and tuning of the bike, and all the way up to the Sport, where you really unleash the potential of this engine. This is currently the least expensive motorcycle in Harley-Davidson's lineup, where you can get these different ride modes, coming in at $13,899 to start. To round out the aesthetic of the Nightster, it comes with a 4-inch analog display similar to the Street Bob. For rider safety, it includes ABS, traction control, and drag, torque, slip control that helps under heavy braking. The ABS is not linked, but it is adjustable in each mode, and traction control can be deactivated in each mode as well. As is par for the course for Harley-Davidson, the new Nightster comes with a whole suite of accessories right out of the gate from Harley-Davidson themselves, including items that can go on the Revolution Max motor, not only for this model, but for any 2021 and newer Revolution Max model. The new Nightster, it was great to see that Harley-Davidson stayed true to the Sportster lineup with the lines of the bike. It's not a direct replacement for the Iron 1200, but the Iron 1200 did leave a gap in the lineup. The power to weight ratio on this bike is fantastic, coming in at 481 pounds with 30 more horsepower than the Iron 1200. It should feel quite a bit more sportier than that particular bike, even though it's at 975 cc's. So I'm really excited for the Nightster. Harley-Davidson had to do something due to changing emissions requirements around the globe. I love the design aesthetic of the bike. They obviously, in their kickoff video, hinted that this bike is going to be something that people can have their individual expression shine through with via customization. So I can't wait for the aftermarket to get a hold of this. But Harley and their suite of accessories and genuine Harley-Davidson accessories, right out of the gate, people that pick up this bike should be able to do something to make it their own. As soon as we get a 2022 Nightster here on the ground at Grand Teton Harley-Davidson, we're going to do a full walk around of the motorcycle as well as a ride review. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and give us a follow. Stay tuned for our next video.